Mr. Mayor, members of council, well, I hope I'll be more persuasive this time. This project is bothersome, or this request is bothersome, because, first of all, it is arising because we have identified a loophole in financial policy number 37, which is the one that says we should be setting aside debt service reserves when we're issuing debt. The reason we do that, of course, is so that people who buy this debt have some reassurance that we're going to be able to service the debt, good times and bad. And it's also a collection of these financial policies and adherence to them that makes the rating agencies comfortable with giving us our coveted AAA rating. So when we find a loophole in the policy, as this is, we just didn't happen to cover debt issued and secured by bed tax revenues. When we find a loophole, it's not an occasion for celebration, it's an occasion to fix the loophole. The other thing, though, that's probably even more troubling is using bed tax money and construing Financial Policy 21A to essentially allow a bailout of the general fund, and that's what it is. The project is built. This $1 million, whoever spends it, is not going to create any more bed nights in the tourist community. It's not going to create any more events. The project is done, and now we're just figuring out who pays for it. And it was clear who was going to pay for it. The bed tax folks made their commitment, a very large commitment, as was indicated on the screen. The only reason the general fund is short is for a variety of reasons that were misportrayed in the original project. It's short because the project not only spent all their contingency money, but they overran their capital budget by 20%. And it's short because they promised you they were going to sell the tent for $1 million, which they didn't do. And it's short because we haven't yet got the money from the other show sponsors. It's short for all kinds of reasons, but none of them have anything to do with the tourism fund. The tourism money, even the carryover money, is to be spent for tourism projects. And this is not being spent on a project, it's simply being spent to avoid issuing $1,115,000 in debt that otherwise would be issued in the general fund. It's a very bad precedent. It's a bad precedent to use tourism funds to bail out the general fund. I don't care how great the need is. And it's also a bad precedent to pretend that these are going to create tourism dollars for us, because they're not. Nothing new is being built. We're just talking about how we're going to finance it. This carryover balance in the tourism fund is a very large number right now, and it's probably burning a hole in people's pockets. But the idea was that as this number accumulates, it will be available to spend in the aggregate, cash on the barrelhead, to finance a major tourism project in the future. And it won't be if you deplete it by bailing out the general fund. Thank you.